Good morning, friends. This is the day the Lord has made. I will rejoice and be glad in it. There goes my husband on his mule. I had to tell y'all something. I have not made a video in 2 weeks because I have been so wrestling with my inner self, so upset with my husband, so mad at the world, so poor me. I've been out, I've been about, but in my mind there's been this constant battle. So I'm going to tell y'all, I wanted a mobile home, and Papa didn't want a mobile home. But I've been looking at mobile homes thinking, he'll change his mind. So I found one that I loved. I loved it better than any home I'd ever been in. It wasn't brand new, it was refurbished, but guys, it was so white and so clean and so wonderful, and it was big enough that it would fit all my living room furniture. I want to downsize. Anyway, so after that, I didn't want to look at a mobile home, and I started getting a little depressed and more angry, because how can a man just say no, let's don't do that, until he's gone into that house? So I said, okay, come with me to see this one house. If you don't like this one house, I'm not looking at it anymore, because this is the house I want. This is the house I dream about putting my stuff in. This is the house I want. So we got up and we went, and he loved it. He loved it. He absolutely loved the house. He looked under it. He walked all around it. He pushed on the sides, and it's a cute little mobile home. It had little shutters, fake shutters. It would be so cute. And I was on cloud nine. And I said, honey, and it's a bank repo, but it had been refurbished. So, guys, he made an offer on it. He made an offer that very day on that house. And I'm going to tell you what, God has his own way of working things out. And, and I don't know why I can't tell myself, the devil is the author of confusion. God doesn't give us confusing decisions. It's just when we step away from him. And guys, I did, because I was wrestling with my own self. Why did I want to take all the time to have to build a house and finish a house, and we're so old, and poor kids gonna have to do all the work, and mobile home, pull it in, set it up. There's a little mosquito right there, and then we're done. So okay, Papa makes an offer on the house, and the bank come back with a counter offer. So in the meantime, we talked to movers, guys, to get our mobile home set 4 foot into the air so it's out of the flood, was gonna be close to $10,000, because they have to do something called cribbing, and evidently it takes different kind of blocks, and they have to go in a certain way, and that's what it was gonna be. When I found that out, I said, $10,000. Oh my gosh. There's so much we can do with $10,000 if we build our house. So all of a sudden, God says, didn't I tell you? Why didn't you just wait? Why didn't you just listen? Why did you put yourself through all that stress, all that turmoil, feeling sorry for yourself, being mad at your husband? Why did you do all that, Brenda? And then all I can say is because I'm selfish, because I'm not spoiled. I'm not going to use that word. Because I'm selfish, because I don't know, I'm just selfish, I guess. But guys, all of a sudden, I'm telling you what, I don't want a mobile home. I have not seen a mobile home that I would pay an extra $10,000 just to set that above our flood level. So then I come home and I get my house plan out, and I am so excited over my house because God showed me mobile home is not what you can have. So I say, okay, God, here's my beautiful house plan, you know? So then Papa calls or texts the man that we've been working with on the house because, we had planned to build the shell with the big porch. Papa texts him, and he will be here Wednesday at 9 o'clock a.m. to look at our foundation and see what we need. So it's like 2 weeks I have been fighting a battle. What a stupid battle. Here I am, healthy. I've lost 20 pounds. My knees don't hurt. Guys, what did I have to be miserable about? Because I'm not going to get a mobile home? Oh my gosh. Would a mobile home be nice? Sure. You just put your stuff in it and you're ready to go. And, but how exciting to get to, I drew my own house. Well, Kim drew my house plan, and I told her where I wanted stuff. We made sure everything would fit that I wanted to take. And I wanted to argue with God and my husband and anybody else that would listen to me. And I talked so much about it that I think people didn't want to talk to me anymore. But day before yesterday, I was on the phone with a friend, and I literally cried. I said, I have found a mobile home, and I love it, and I thought it was it's my dream home. And I said, I'm so mad at Papa. I told him, we're not even going to go look at it. And she said, don't cut your nose off to spite your face. And I started laughing. So then we got off the phone, and I went and told Pops. I said, yes, we're going to go see the mobile home. You have to see it before you tell me no. That's just fair. So that's what happened. He loved it too. And we made an offer, and God said no. So who am I to argue with God, right? I just wish I had listened to him to start with. So I will tell you now about the conversation I had with Kim this morning. I've been looking at hall trees because when you come in our front door now, we have a coat closet right here, and we have hooks on both walls. So people can take their coats off, their gloves off, their hats off, their purses, and they just hang right there. It has its own little spot. So I'm thinking, well, okay, I'm not going to have a coat closet. I've got to have a hall tree. I love hall trees. So I've been looking on Facebook. And Kim said, Mom, this was several days ago. She said, Mom, I've got a hall tree on my front porch. I've been trying to sell for $75. She said, come and get that. I said, well, I've never noticed. Because actually, to tell the truth, Kim has a lot of stuff on her front porch to make it like really attractive. So to tell the truth, I guess I haven't noticed. She's got plants and shoe boxes, and I guess I haven't noticed the hall tree. So when I went down last week, I saw it and I said, oh, this is pretty, but I remembered it being chicy, shabby chicy, whatever, shabby chic, whatever that word is. I don't like that. So I told Kim, I said, well, I want it all white. And she said, it is white. And I'm thinking, that wasn't white. And I said, Kim, I don't think it was white. It might have been shabby chic white, and I don't like that. I want it shiny white. I said, but I did look at it, and it's got the little box that opens for the shoes, and it's got hooks on it. And I said, but I don't want that. I said, I don't have to have the mirror that's on it. I'm not crazy about the mirror. She said, well, if we paint it white, you can't have the mirror. And I said, I don't want that wreath hanging on it. She said, it doesn't have a wreath hanging on. I said, yes, it does. I said, you've got a little spring wreath hanging on there. So she said, Mom, and I said, go look. I'm on the phone with her this morning, just a few minutes ago. So she goes out the door and she says, Mom, it's red for one thing, or a barn red. The mirror's white, the hooks are white, and it has no wreath hanging on it. It has a pair of Connor's underwear on one of the hooks that he forgot to take home. She said it has no wreath. I'm thinking, where did I get that? Where did I get that it had a wreath and I don't want a wreath on it? So anyway, she said, we'll take care of that. We'll paint it all white. Also, you know how I griped about all the stuff Papa was saving in this barn. But when I went in there, I found this awesome little cabinet. I said, I want that cabinet. So he set it out for me, took it over to the patio. I said, oh my gosh, I'm gonna paint this white. And the drawers open like this. And I'm telling you, I'm excited about it, okay? The doors open like this. It has 3 shelves, sturdy little cabinet. And I said, oh, if I paint this white, I can put it on the other side of the front door. Because right now, when you come in our house, we have the big armoire. You open the top drawer, that's where we put our sunglasses, our keys, stuff like that we're gonna need when we go back out again. So I'm thinking I'll paint this white. It'll be so shiny. I love shiny white. And now that I've been looking at these mobile homes, the only ones that appeal to me are the ones with the white cabinets, the white kitchens. So anyway, I'm going to paint this heavy cabinet white. So I get spray paint. Then it moves it out on the porch so I can paint it. And I paint and I paint. You know, I have these little arthritic fingers. And so finally, I had to shake and hold it with my thumb, hold the button with my thumb and try to paint because my finger was hurting. And then I stepped back and looked at it. That is the ugliest stuff I've ever seen in all my life. And I was in the sun because I wanted it in the sun so it would dry. And I'm like, huffing, and I'm thinking, I said the bad word. I said, D word. This is why I paint everything leather brown. White doesn't color poop. It just don't cover things. And so I said, I'm just gonna forget this white. I had one side done. It looked like totally pathetic. I'm getting leather brown. And I'm huffing and I'm puffing and I'm tired because it takes a lot of energy to press down the spray paint with your thumb. So then I go in the house and I call Kim. And I said, you want to know why I paint everything leather brown? Because white don't cover poop. And she said, why are you trying to paint poop? And I said, Kim, I was trying to be nice and not say shit. And she said, Mom, what are you trying to paint? And I told her about that cabinet. She said, are you talking about that upper cabinet? And I said, it's an upper cabinet? She said, yeah, it's an upper cabinet, the one you've got sitting on your patio. I don't know what kind of cabinet it is, but I love it. And I thought I would paint it white and put it by the front door. And then, you know, it's got 3 nice shelves, heavy duty shelves. And I said, I can put 3 baskets because I'm very organized. You can put keys in one. The kids can put their gloves in one and their hats, everything. So long story short, she will come with her paint and she will paint it white with real paint, not spray paint. And she will paint the hall rack white with real paint, not spray paint. And so we got that settled. She will paint my cabinet, and I'm thinking, you know, okay, if I'm going to have the hall tree there, you know, you do have 2 sides of the door, but I don't know. So I'm thinking, I don't care as long as that gets painted because I love it. And I don't care if I do have to paint it leather brown. I just love leather brown. And she's the one that told me, stop painting things leather brown. And so, you know, I was trying to go to white, but white just doesn't cover blemishes. So anyway, she's going to take care of all that for me. And the gentleman is coming Wednesday to look at our foundation to see if we need to add some sand or some rock or stuff like that. And I'm just happy with all kinds of ideas. Now, Ben's not too happy. He wanted a mobile home also, because I had whined enough where I'd put it in his mind we had to have a mobile home or we were just going to absolutely die. So he goes and gets the house plan out immediately. I said, Ben, you're going to love the house. And he said, well, that's a strong word. And I said, trust me, you're going to love it. And he goes, I may tolerate it. I said, honey, if all you're going to do is tolerate the new house, then don't come here. If you don't love it here, don't come. Stay in the camper or buck up with one of the girls over there so you can have your upstairs. I said, but I'm excited now. I am on a high, and I'm going to call this a Jesus high because he absolutely told us no way on the mobile home. And doesn't God know best? And who am I, Brenda K. Chrysel Morrow, to argue with God? But I was doing it. And over the silliest thing. I wasn't begging to be of important things. I'm whining about a mobile home. Anyway, guys, we got Ben right now picking up rocks. Papa will be moving his bees tonight when it cools down. I'm under the trees now. Oh, guys, this is so cute. Jill FaceTimed me. It was Coda's little face right in the camera, and she says, are you out under the trees? And I said, yes, baby, I am out under the trees. So she knew where I was going to be because this is where we spend our day now, and I just can't wait to come just walk down the stairs. Oh, that's going to be another thing me and God going to have to deal with because he and Papa don't do good on stairs. So we might have to have a handicap ramp or something. You just walk down, walk up. Think of this though, walking up a handicap ramp. Think how that is going to strengthen you if you do it several times a day. Easier than stairs because you don't have to bend your knees so much, and it'll be cardiac. It'll help your heart get pumping. So I have so many things to be thankful for this morning. Silly things, goofy things, which is my normal personality. But I had a friend tell me people want to see you. They enjoy what you say. You make them happy. And I'm thinking, oh, they don't want to see me today because I'm Mrs. Gloom. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. I do not like hypocrites. When you tell a person, even on the videos, oh my Lord, I just saw right there, I just see the sun shining in that tree, and I thought it was a snake. I swallowed my tongue. There's no snake there, guys. If y'all see that, I swear to me, it looks right. Oh, that's making my heart beat too fast. I don't like snakes. If I get on this video and tell you how much God loves you, how good God is, how much he's done in my life, even if I get scriptures wrong or Bible stories wrong, I'm still telling you God loves you. But if I get on here and I am wrestling in my mind with something that is of my own making, and I can't seem to get myself over it, and then to get on at the same time and try to put on a happy face and tell you how good God is, what a hypocrite. I do not want to be a hypocrite. When I say something, I want to believe it with all my heart. And not that I didn't believe God with all my heart, I just wasn't trusting him. And when God says no, he says no. And he says it in all kinds of ways. And this time, he told us with a $10,000, I don't know what you'd call that, $10,000 shock sticker, I guess you might say. $10,000 will buy all of the wallboard we need to finish our whole entire house with money left over. So, my goodness, what was I thinking, guys? I don't know what I was thinking. The devil got me good. I didn't even go to church last Sunday. I just told Gene I'm so tired. I just want to lay here on the couch and watch church TV because I was feeling so sorry for myself. And you see, y'all think I'm good. I'm not good. Sometimes I think I am a total waste. And then I have to tell myself, I know I'm not a waste because everybody loves me. My kids love me. My grandkids love me. I'm not a waste. God made me. So very seldom do I get down on myself like this, but I was, guys. I was very down on myself. And I probably put Pawpaw through. I kept telling him, you've got a closed mind, I was never ugly or hateful. I'm not even when I'm fighting my own battle, I'm not a hateful person. So I'm not going to say I was mean or hateful. But and somebody said on Lester's video, Lester said, if my mom wants it, she's going to get it. And I thought, Lord have mercy. That's not true. But if that's what Lester thinks, I don't know. Maybe, well, I did whine for a new car until Papa told me, go ahead. If you can pay for it, you get it. So now it takes my whole Social Security check to pay for that little car that I just love to have. So now when I get ready to go somewhere, sometimes I choose to go in the van. So we do things to ourselves to put ourselves in bad situations. And then we go whining, Jesus help me. Oh my gosh, what pitiful people we are. You know what, I'm starting to sweat because there's no breeze, and there's always a breeze out here. Anyway, guys, I want you to know, in my last video, I talked for over an hour, and that was ridiculous. Sometimes when you don't do a video for a while, you feel like there's so much you want to tell people, so much going on. You just sit and you're just enjoying yourself out under the tree, and you just talk forever. So I'm going to shut this down now, but I'm going to tell you how good it is when you're wrestling with something, even if it's of your own making, because it wasn't a spiritual battle. I don't know what kind of battle you would really call it, but I did it to myself. And then it takes, in my case, it took hard proof to say, listen to God, you crazy idiot. So, and I was praying too. But when God showed me that price tag on moving that house, it was a shock of reality. And I'm so happy now. I'm not, because we wanted a house to start with. And then I kept thinking, mobile home will come so fast. That's because I wanted to be in the house by the time Jill had the baby. But that's not going to happen because she's having the baby next Wednesday. So, God will give you the answer. And maybe I should have said, God, give me the answer now. I can't stand this anymore. I'm making myself miserable. But I finally did get the answer in God's time. And now I can't tell you how happy and relieved. And I'm ashamed. I'm ashamed of myself. And I've got too much to be thankful for without even having a new house. Oh, I want Dustin and Jill to hurry and get over there. She told Papa the other day she was painting the ceiling white. And he said, you know, that's ash wood. You know, that costs about $60 a sheet. And she said, well, it's going to look really pretty when it's white. So that didn't bother her. So Papa's sitting there having a heart attack. When she left, he said, did you know she's going to paint our ceiling white? And I said, honey, it's their ceiling. We can paint our ceiling over here, whatever color we want. And he said, yeah, you're true. Well, I'm telling you what, we're having tin in our ceiling. Real shiny, pretty tin. And I'm excited about that. Anyway, guys, I will give you some more house plans.
Okay, do this. Come here.
And
No, it's okay. You already done it. Come on.
Papa's giving Vin some instructions over there. All right, so guys, I just want to say I love you. Trust God. Listen to God. Listen good. Don't just half listen or say, God, that's not the answer I want. Give me another one. Give me another one, God. I don't want that answer. He will give us the answer He wants to, when He wants to. And guys, I love you all. I pray for you all. I pray you're not idiots like me, but sometimes we do that stuff. We just do them. But right now, I'm going to go in the house and get me a glass of tea. I love the way the Brits say it. They said, do you want a cuppa? And I'm thinking, what are they going to give them a cup of? Vodka? Or rum and punch? Or is it going to be tea or coffee? Whatever it is, they all want a cuppa. So I love Brit Box, y'all know that. Guys, I love you all so much, and I'm so excited. And when God takes a burden off of you and you can bubble again, it's just the most awesome, awesome feeling. So I love y'all, and I will talk to y'all another day. God bless.